What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. Derek Carr, baby. That's right. Who dat? Saints-Titans Sunday in the Dome. And let's go around the room. A little bit like the trust exercise. Most confident, most concerned. What makes me most confident? Not what I'm most excited to see. I am most confident about this game because of Derek Carr. And that may be a weird place to be, but I am a firm Carr believer. I think the reports, if we think back to the reports, like, okay, granted, I was a Jameis believer, but I had to hand wave away a lot of stuff, right? We're hearing he's not practicing that well, that actually Andy Dalton's practicing better, that like, blah, blah, all these sorts of things. When have we heard even a peep of that out of Carr? Not, right? Everything's been awesome. When we actually saw him in the preseason, awesome. You look at his career, and he has been awesome at times. He has never been in as good an environment as what he has here in New Orleans with as good of a defense. I think Derek Carr is going to shine.
Okay. So if I'm trying to pick out a place for concern that I also think can be a massive positive thing for the Saints, it's the receiver room. All right? Because if Michael Thomas can go out there and stay healthy, I love it. If he can't, more of the same. Rashid Shaheed, I think he takes another step. I know training camp was tough for him. He was injured. But if he takes a step that I think he can take, all right, very intrigued. But what if he doesn't, right? Chris Olave, we know what he can do. What if he starts getting bracket coverage and all this full attention?
Mike Thomas, maybe.
What can he do? So, like, I have questions, and I'm like, I just need to go see it. But if that group does what they're capable of doing, it can be a top group. Like, I truly think that about them. If you get a Michael Thomas that's 90% of who he was, if you get, a Chris Olave where he can go and be a guy that doesn't get double coverage, bracket coverage because of what Michael Thomas is doing on the other side. If Rashid Shaheed does continue to develop as an NFL receiver. Juwan Johnson, I throw him kind of in the same category. I know he's a tight end, but he's going to be out there as an F in the slot a ton. I think there's really, really high potential for him. I think he can be a top 8 tight end in the NFL. Like, I truly believe that because we saw it last year at the end of the year. But it's like I also can see it going the complete opposite way. So that is like that position, the 3 receivers and the F position are something that I'm going to be paying attention to the most this weekend.
Yeah, if I was going concern, Pete Carmichael, right? Are we going to see the growth out of Pete Carmichael? Now that he has a quarterback that he could trust more, like, are you going to be more creative? Are you going to and it's weird because it's not like last year where the what you really needed was like probably more Taysom Hill. I don't think that's necessarily what you need or anything here, but will it be as blasé as his last year, or will it be more dynamic? Mario, concerns and confidence.
Very confident in the season that Olave is going to have. The rookie year that he had last year was on par with what Marcus Colston and Michael Thomas did, but the difference is he did not have Drew Brees. So I'm really excited to see what he can do with Derek Carr and, to Hester's point, with some better complementary receivers. My biggest concern, especially in this first game and really throughout the season, is both sides of the line of scrimmage. Like, they're going to be tested from jump. They gave up 200-plus yards to Atlanta last year. Now you're facing Derrick Henry with 3 new starters on the defensive line.
True.
And then the O-line has to go up against Autry and Landry and Jeffrey Simmons from the first game. They had to show me that they can establish the line of scrimmage too.
That would be my biggest concern. I think you're absolutely nails there, Mario. What about you, Taylor? Or wait, I guess do you care?
Yeah, I can't. Look, I am a Saints fan.
Okay.
I am not a diehard, but I watch the Saints pretty much every Sunday.
You can take on the Saints. That's all I'm asking. You can take on the Saints.
100%. Okay. And I don't want to take the one you did, but I have to because I have been a massive Derek Carr fan his entire career.
Okay.
I mean, I text Mario the day that the Saints signed him, and I was like, "Congrats, man!" Because I have always believed in Derek Carr. That's my guy. I mean, I'm a big Derek Carr guy, so I'm confident about him. My caution, I'm gonna go defense as well, like Mario, but I'm going to go linebacker, not the starters, but the depth, because you are tackling Derrick Henry this week. Your linebackers are going to get worn out. If one of them goes down, who's going to step up behind him? There's a lot of inexperience behind him. We all thought that Jalen Smith was going to be that guy. That's not going to really be the case here in week 1. So the linebacker is probably my biggest concern.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting comment from the program director of the chat. Carr is a loser, Dennis Allen's a loser, the Saints are losers. And it's not interesting because I agree with it, but it's interesting because that is kind of what's on the line for those guys, right? Because Dennis Allen has been, as a head coach, a perennial loser. Derek Carr, he's had moments, certainly, in Oakland, but on the whole, it's been losing football. And so it's weird. How can we sit here and say these two guys that's been who they are, that they're going to change? And we go through it, the experience, the NFC South is so weak, et cetera, et cetera. But, this is the year for those guys. You want to shift the narrative? You want people to have believing? You want to be thought of as more than just a perennial loser? Well, you have a golden opportunity this season, and you have a really nice start to the year. The Titans are tough out here. But, you look at this schedule, you should be able to start 3-1 if you're going to be able to accomplish the goals that you want. So, and you're in the Dome, man. Go show out in front of that home crowd and prove that, no, you are not losers.
Y'all know this is coming down to a game-winning field goal for sure, right?
Groupie.
I would expect nothing less.
Honestly,
we know that's happening.
I would love for it to come down to a game-winning field goal because I want to see what Groupie's got in week 1.
Without question, moving on from a vet, keeping someone that nobody had on this roster as training camp started, it's coming down to a field goal.
Yeah, man. And again, whatever you think about Will Lutz, he was literally almost perfect in his career. 8 of 9 in either in kicks to take the lead or tie it with a minute left in fourth quarter overtime. And the only miss was a 60-plus yarder rookie year. So, Groupie, you better be right, dude. E. Goddard says, I'm worried about the Saints' offensive line. Is Pete starting? No, I believe Hurst is starting. But no, that continues to be the biggest potential limiting factor on this entire team, right? What is Trevor Penning ready to be a legit first-round left tackle in the NFL? And if he is, then everything works. If he's not, well, then everything is maybe in a bit of trouble. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.